Hello everyone and welcome to our presentation on data analytics and business intelligence. Today we will explore statistical methods applied to analyze production cost and profit margin. This presentation is brought to you by our Group 12 for course BT23303 Section 2. My name is Awang Kumawan Atarmin Ishak and I will guide you through this insightful analysis along with my team members. So we will continue to our next presenter for part 1.
Rating: I'm Aziz Shamirul bin Zaidi, holding number metric BB23110623. We're presenting the part 1, graph or chart relative frequency and cumulative relative frequency for this presentation. As shown in the table, we grouped production costs into the 5 categories. Each frequency represents how often the production costs fall within this range. This analysis gives us a clear picture of where most of our production costs are centered. Understanding this distribution helps us strategize for the cost optimization and identify areas that may need closer monitoring. Now let's dive into the core of our analysis, the profit margin frequency table. This table showcases the distribution of profit margin across the various range. Notice how the frequency increases as we move from 26 to 29, picking up the 12th occurrence before dropping again at the 30 to 35. This table shows the relative frequency of production cost and profit margin. It helps us understand how often each cost and profit range occur relative to the total number of observations. Relative frequency gives us a better understanding of proportion of production cost and profit margin within each range compared to the entire dataset. This information is useful for identifying which cost or profit range are most common and can help in making informed decisions for the cost management. This table shows the cumulative relative frequency for both production cost and profit margin. Cumulative relative frequency helps us understand the proportion of data points that fall below the certain value. For the production cost, 10% of cost up to the first range, 43.33% reach up to the second range, and so on, reaching 100% by the last range. For profit margin, 10% of margin are up to the first range, 46.67% are up to the second range, and so on, reaching 100% by the fourth range and the last range being zero. This information is crucial for understanding the distribution and concentration of cost and profit within the dataset. Next, relative frequency helps us standardize the data, showing the proportion of occurrence in each category. For example, the relative frequency of production costs in 21 to 40 range in 0.33, meaning it makes up 33% of our total data. Similar to the relative frequency for profit margin in 15 to 21 range is 0.4 or 40%. Lastly, we examine cumulative relative frequency, which allow us to observe the progression of data. For example, the cumulative relative frequency of production costs reached 0.87 at 91 to 80 range, showing the nearly 87% of data lies below the threshold. Similarly, for the profit margin, we see the consistent upward trend highlighting the overall distribution of value. Through this analysis, we gain valuable insight into the trend and distribution of our production costs and profit margin. I will now hand over to my teammate who will continue with the part 2. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hello everyone. My name is Awang Muhammad Nash Akhtar bin Ishaq, metric number BB233110211. So today I will present about part 2 is about measure of central location. So to measure of central location, we need to calculate the arithmetic mean, median, and mode. To calculate the arithmetic mean for production cost, we need to plus all the company production cost and then divide it by 30. As below you can see 1484.2 million divided by 30. So the answer we get for average production cost is 49.47 millions. For arithmetic mean for profit margin, as usual, we just plus all the profit margin of the company and then divided by 30. So 741.7% divided by 30, the answer for average profit margin is 34.72%. So then the graphics show table with different companies' profit margin and production costs, followed by the arithmetic mean for both parameters. The average profit margin is calculated as 24.72% by adding up the individual figure and dividing by the number of company, where the average production cost is calculated as 49.47 million in the first table. The central tendency of the listed company financial data is summarized by this indicator. To, cal- to calculate the median for production cost, we need to take the number 15 and plus number 16 and then divide it by 2. As usual, followed by 26.3 plus 26.5 and then divided 2. So the median for production cost is 46.25 million. For profit margin, also same like the production cost, number 15 plus number 16 and then divided by 2. So 26.8 plus 27.6 divided by 2, the answer is 25.35%. So the explanation about how to calculate the median for production cost is the data point are ordered in ascending order. The median is calculated by taking the average of the 15 and 16 value in order list as the total number of the data is even. For profit margin is also same. The median is determined using the same approach. This median represents the middle of value of their respective data set. As a compare between the two of the metrics, the median for production cost is 4.25 million, but the profit margin is 25.35%. And the last one is mode. The mode for production cost is 36.2 millions. And for profit margin, the mode is 23.3% and 21.2%. For weighted mean, both production cost and profit margin has no weighted mean. So we will continue to our next presenter to present about part 3. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Muhammad Nur Arif bin James. Matric number BB23110754. Today I will discuss and give a presentation about BT23303, which is data analytics and business intelligence. Today I will cover part 3 of the assignment, which is percentiles and box plots. First of all, I would like to start the presentation with the percentile, the formula of the percentiles, which is LP equal to n plus 1 times by P over 100. The first of the key, which is arrange the data in ascending order and then locate the position of L by using the formula as shown in the slides. For the production cost, the percentile for it, which by the formula that are applied, can be we can get the certain points, which is the value of for the maximum value, which is around 97.2, while for the third quartile or the 75% of the data, which is 65.3, and for the second quartile or mean for the 50% of the data, which is 46.25, and the first quartile around 25%, which is 26.85, and the minimum point in the data of the production cost is 11.8. All of this can be get by the application of the formula given. As you can see, as shown, these are the box plot of the production cost after it was after the value of the value or the points are already determined by the calculation of by the formula. Other than that, for the percentile for the profit margin, the maximum point of it is 31.2, while the third quartile or the 75% of the data, which is 27.45, or I'm sorry, 27.455, while the second quartile or the 50% is 25.35, and the first quartile or the 25%, which is 22.1, and the minimum point is 16.3 of the data. As shown above, this is the box plot of the profit margin. If you compare it with the first box plot, which is the production cost, it's the value of it is very much different because of the units and the data, the percentiles, the value of the data that are being determined by the calculation of the application. I'm sorry, by the formula that has been applied through the calculation in the data.
Assalamualaikum and good evening. My name is Muhammad Effendi bin Muhammad Saleh. My metric number is BB233110568. So today I will present about part 4, which is calculate and compare measure of dispersion between two metric. For the first one is range. So the formula that given is range equal to maximum value minus minimum value. So the value for production cost is 85.4, and then for profit margin we get 14.9. Okay, the second one is average deviation. So if you see the formula, the value that we get for production cost is 21.65, and for profit margin we get 3.12. Okay, the third one is variance. So with the formula, we get value for production cost is 646.10, and for profit margin we get 14.56. Okay, the fourth is standard deviation. So the value that we get for production cost is 25.42, and for profit margin we get 3.80. The last one is coefficient of variation. So the value that we get with the formula for production cost is 51.38, and then for profit margin we get 15.38. Okay, for the conclusion, as a compare between the two metric, the measure of dispersion for number of production costs are bigger than the number of profit margin. So that's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, my name Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Khairil bin Roslain. Metric number BB233110421. I will present part 5 is the association between two metrics. In the final section, we evaluate the relationship between production cost and profit margins using two metrics. So first is correlation coefficient. The correlation coefficient is negative 0.8965301, indicating the correlation coefficient is a strong negative association as production costs increase, profit margin tend to decrease. For the last metric is covariance. For covariance, the answer is negative 83.7606711111. For the covariance, reinforcing the inverse relationship between the two variables. To summarize, we use statistical tools to analyze and interpret business data. We examine frequencies, central tendencies, variability, and relationship between production costs and profit margins. This analysis underscore the importance of data-driven decision making in business intelligence.